Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. We might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle way.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have been required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive whether he can issue the president's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would
can't?
Be a gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, J.B. Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, J.B. Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons
Yes,
is
it's
a
only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
J.B.
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he
about
get a
this.
pardon also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is...
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. You're going to condemn that pardon.
You know, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people. Commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold him.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama-Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, there's still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Diablo, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Yes, I am here. And I am ready to go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel, where there's a lot of gnashing of teeth and crying and yelling and screaming. And I'm not sure some of the people doing the yelling and crying and screaming and what all of that stuff understand that they lost. I listened to some of these speeches that they're making in front of the USAID building, a bunch of Democrats out there screaming and yelling, and I don't think they know they lost. The reason I named it this is because they're out there screaming and yelling, they're saying, this is what democracy looks like. And I was thinking, you lost. So yes, you're right. When you lose, you don't always get your way because the American people voted for some of this. Now, granted, I'm not sure that we were all prepared for the what some are calling it the shock and awe of what has transpired. But holy, I'm all that, man. I was gonna swear, but I'm gonna wait a little bit. I don't know why, because I'm already 10 minutes into the show, technically, from YouTube. I just, for some reason, if I swear too early in the show, they give me that yellow thing, that little yellow dollar sign, whatever. So I just try to hold off as long as I can. But, holy Nikes, do we have a lot to talk about today? And so let's get into that. But, of course, first I got to say hi. So, first in the chat today is Mr. Avocados Diabli. Oh, shocker. Gets the bell. Why is that so soft? Here, let's try that again. Okay, much better. Now you can hear that noise. Also, good morning. On the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians, Special Can Acid. Good morning, Kara Soldier, Mike Savage, Blarg, Tyre Alexander, The Scourge. I had to shorten it up a little bit because I've got to get this going. Kara Soldier, I already said that. Tyler F's here. Trippy Liberty, what's up, my brother? It's been a bit. Good morning, Sapphire Dragon, Midnight in Exile, and Aaron Meredith. And we're shy of some people. Maybe people to start showing up. Or if you haven't shared the stream, some of you have already done that. But if you could share the stream or at least drop a "Let's Go" in the link above there that I put up there, just click that and then drop a "Let's Go." Some of the people have done that though. Mike Savage, but thank you, sir. It was already done that. Here we go. Yeah, it's working. There's Mike Savage. Got a let us go. And also Trippy Liberty, thank you for retweeting the show. And Tyler F. Yeah, what's wrong with the rest of you all though? Good morning, Blue Eyed Scream. I see you dropped in. Welcome. So, like I said, I got a lot to get to, so let's just get right into this. Of course, today is Hump Day. Oh, by the way, it is the 5th of February, 2025. And the Hump Day tweets, there's, God, okay, so the link today, there's a lot of the humps that people like to show off. And so I couldn't scroll very far. So here's the two top Hump Day posts that I liked. GM, good morning, happy Hump Day. It says, unfortunately, Sonia had reached that age where all the noises that she used to make during sex, she now made getting out of a chair. Oh my goodness, I can relate to that. And then the other one, making sure this didn't shift because I don't want to show, someone's vagina on my screen. Oh, here we go. And then this one, happy Hump Day. This one is, I'm fairly certain that the person who put the first R in February also decided how to spell Wednesday. So there you go. It's February, it's Wednesday, and it's Hump Day. Welcome to the show. All right. That's all I got to say about that. Other things happening in the world. Hello, Garrett Wolf. Boy, I hate waking up at 7 a.m. Oh, you're in the West Coast? I was going to say 7 a.m. I'm up at 3 in the morning every day. So anyway, so if she has sex in a chair, does she make twice the noise? Well, of course, AD. That's well, maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe those noises were just to make her partner feel better. You know what I'm saying? Chicks are like that. But, you know, unless you're really doing it right. Okay. I don't know why I went to that. Today is also National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Oh, now it's 9 a.m. Oh, I see. You're a Midwestie too. Okay, good. Just had to get up. Okay, well that's more information than I needed. Today's National Women and Girls in Sports Day, and especially if you know what a woman is. Yeah, you know. So let's see. Someone here. What is this? Something Women in Sports. SVSU Athletics celebrates National Girls and Women in Sports Day. So yeah, if you like the sports that are a little more boring than the men's sports, yeah, this is great. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's important for girls to also participate in sports if they want to. You know, not all do and not all boys do, but you know, I think it's important for kids to participate in sports. Period, because it just, you know, sometimes organized sports just make your life more complete if you're into that, but some don't. I don't, you know, whatever. So anyway, so some of these people, Athletes Unlimited, we celebrate the strength, resilience, and passion of every girl and woman who steps onto the field, court, track, or arena. Keep pushing the boundaries, inspiring others, and proving that the future of women's sports is unlimited. Yeah, whatever. So, but there are organizations. I think where's the one with maybe it's the next one here. Yeah, there it is. Now these people are celebrating because the president. Oh, you can't even see this, can you? I didn't even have it on the screen. So these people are celebrating because they're going to go to the White House. It's Happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day. See you soon, POTUS, because they're very happy that the current administration is supportive of not having, let's just say, males in women's sports. So here, let's see. This is NFHS, Happy National Girls and Women's Sports Day. Today and every day, the celebration. Okay, that's not the one. Here it is. Independent Women's Forum. Today, Independent Women is in D.C. with dozens of female athletes, coaches, and youth female athletes to celebrate the 39th annual National Girls and Women in Sports Day and call upon elected leaders to advance measures to keep women's sports female. So that's the big push. All right, enough about that. Moving on. Also, it just happens to coincide with National Signing Day. If you have a high school athlete who is bound to play college sports, today is National Signing Day. Someone here says, who's this? History in the making. Today, we proudly celebrate BDPR Recruiting's first National Signing Day class. These young men put in the work, bet on themselves, and made their dreams a reality. And we're just getting started. More signings to come. Now, this kind of bothers me a little bit. This is kind of apparently some of these student athletes, the high-end student athletes, are now have agents or something like that. Let's see. This is founder of BDPR Recruiting, former Big Ten director of recruiting. I'm not really sure what that is, but anyway, congratulations to all the kids who are signing their national letters of intent today. If you really care about that kind of stuff. I mean, my son had to do that when he was in high school. So there you go. Good morning, by the way, Lord Stanhope. I see you in the house, and Anon 1, 2, 3 is here. Welcome. All right, so enough about that. Also today, now this is, look, today a lot of people are highlighting the fact that Trayvon Martin would have been 30 years old today. And I'll read a couple of these, but there's something that bothers me about most of these posts, the vast majority of them. And look, Trayvon Martin should have turned 30 today. I agree. Perhaps, maybe, had that altercation not taken place the way it did, he would be alive, right? We all know that. But the evidence showed that Trayvon Martin attacked the weird little weirdo dude that was trying to follow him around, and then he was going away and apparently attacked him, and the people who saw them on the ground just before he got shot saw Trayvon Martin on top of God, I can't remember the dude's name now. You guys will put it in the chat. And was beating his head into the ground, and the guy self-defense, and that's the way the jury saw it, and it started the huge movement, right? But I do want to read a couple of these. George Zimmerman, thank you. I don't know why he was blanking on his name. So Bernice King, one of the Dr. King's kids, Trayvon Martin, he should be turning 30 today. 30. He should have 3 decades behind him and be planning for more. My heart goes out to his parents and his family. Well, yeah, you don't want a child to die. Now remember, he wasn't living with his parents because there was a problem there. He was living with his aunt and uncle. And what bothers me about most of these posts is that they almost every single post you see about this show pictures of Trayvon Martin when he was 12 or 13 years old. So they got this picture, his football picture, when he was like 12 or 13 years old. This one, it looks like he's a little older. Yes, happy birthday, Trayvon Martin. You should be 30 today. Now, this has an array of pictures of him, but most of them are when he was 12 or 13 years old. This is not what he looked like when he, attacked George Zimmerman. But all of them, they love this 13-year-old picture. And look, you would hope that Trayvon Martin would have just kept separate, right? You would hope they had just kept separate. But he didn't. But as you scroll through these, they all show the 13-year-old picture. So, and there's a reason for that, because he was an 18-year-old, 17-year-old high school football player who was a lot bigger than George Zimmerman and attacked him and had him on the ground. So it's like, look, happy heavenly birthday, Trayvon. Yes, Trayvon Martin should be alive today. And, there's, regardless of what you thought of what George Zimmerman did, whether he should have been patrolling the neighborhood or not, there should have been no physical confrontation, and there was. So, Trayvon Martin wouldn't have been 30, and look at the state of the country right now, absolutely devastating. Well, what's the state of the country? It started a movement that didn't necessarily help. And in fact, the people who started for the big wigs in the movement ended up buying, a bunch of houses and real estate and made a lot of money off of this protest. So I agree Trayvon Martin should be alive, but probably not in the same way that some people want to make it. But so there you go. All right, moving on. A couple other things are trending. I don't know if it's pronounced Sheen or Shine, and Temu are trending. Why? Well, apparently, where is it? Well, first of all, this says Minnesota DFL Senator Erin May Quaid is so concerned about Trump's tariffs on China. Her number one concern, her precious Temu and Shine haul straight from the sweatshops of forced labor. Priorities, right? So apparently the U.S. Postal Service, let's see, what does this say? Suspension of here it is. Temu and Shine are responsible for an estimated 30% of packages shipped daily into the United States, according to a report from the Peterson Institute. What happens to stuff people bought and paid for that yet to be delivered? Not just clothes, but everything. Like, I'm sorry, if you're buying shit from Temu and Shine, What are you doing? All that stuff is crap. Anyway, suspension of inbound parcels from China and Hong Kong, the International Service Suspension Notice on February 4th. Effective February 4th, the Postal Service will temporarily suspend only international package acceptance of inbound parcels from China and Hong Kong until further notice. Note, the flow of letters and flats from China and Hong Kong will not be impacted. So if you ordered something from Temu or Shine, you're an idiot, but you may not get that package. So that's why breaking the United States Postal Service has just announced suspending all incoming packages from China and Hong Kong. Talk about time. Rest in peace, Temu, Shine, and Alibaba. Yeah, they sell crap made in sweatshops that either falls apart or probably has lead in it. I'm just saying. All right, a couple more thank yous real quick. Thank you, CG and Tribute Liberty already did. So thank you for the Let's Go, CG, and so on and so forth. So there you go. Let's get rid of this. All right, moving. Let's see. Temu Shine. We did that. We did. Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi has been confirmed as the Attorney General of the United States of America. Oh my God, what the hell? Glad I didn't scroll too far. Someone turns. Wait a minute. Let me see what this is. I want to make sure. Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm going to make a separate link for this just because, but I'm not going to put it on the screen. There's a lovely, lovely picture of Adam Schiff. And people asking Pam Bondi to celebrate Dickhead. That is a preview of what. Oh, I put it on the screen. That was brilliant. Anyway, I probably won't get in trouble with that. It's animated. Okay, so anyway, Senate confirms Pam Bondi as Attorney General with bipartisan support. I love when this is what Democrats used to do all the time. They would get one Republican to vote for their bills, and they would say bipartisan support. So Breitbart has given them a bit of their own medicine. The Senate confirmed Pam Bondi as Attorney General by a vote of 54-46, fulfilling President Donald Trump's choice to run his Justice Department. Senator John Fetterman, Democrat from Pennsylvania, joined the Republicans in voting for Bondi and making them be able to say that this was bipartisan support. So congratulations, Pam Bondi. She was the first female Attorney General of the state of Florida also. Other nominees about to come up, and many of them have gotten through committees now. RFK Jr. nomination for HHS Secretary advances out of the Senate committee. Now, there are some people very angry about that because Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy changed his mind and decided to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And some people are yesterday. What was trending yesterday for that? Oh, things like Hippocratic oath, and you violated your Hippocratic oath by voting for a member of a president's cabinet. No, you did not. But and they were just so pissed off yesterday. Anyway, Republican Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, a medical doctor, had questioned Kennedy strongly about his views on vaccines in both the Senate Finance and Senate Health, Education, and Labor and Pensions Committee. Despite saying he struggled with the nomination, Cassidy ultimately voted to advance Kennedy to the Senate floor. Cassidy tweeted out his plans to vote for Kennedy just minutes before the vote took place. I've had very intense conversations with Bobby in the White House over the weekend and even this morning. He specifically cited Vice President J.D. Vance as an influence on his vote, thanking him for his honest counsel. So, yeah, Bill, he's taking a lot of heat from Democrats. Oh, well. Also, in that same vein, Tulsi Gabbard wins over key votes with within one vote of advancing towards Senate confirmation. The move towards advancing Tulsi Gabbard out of the Senate Intelligence Committee and the full Senate vote on her confirmation as Director of National Intelligence is gaining steam as GOP Senators Susan Collins of Maine and Todd Young of Indiana have now said they will vote for her. American intelligence officers around the globe deserve our respect and support. I appreciate Tulsi Gabbard's engagement with me on a variety of issues to ensure that our intelligence professionals will be supported and policymakers will receive unbiased information under her leadership, Todd Young told Politico. So, looks like she's at one more step towards advancing. And then, now, I don't know why I put this in here, but in California, the Democrats in California, because, that's almost synonymous, California Democrats, they have overwhelming veto-proof power, which they don't even have because they have all the main branches that vote in California. But they have passed a $50 million bill to fight Trump, defend illegal alien criminals, and seek billions in fire aid. California Democrats passed $50 million in spending Monday to fight President Donald Trump's administration and its policies, while also seeking billions of dollars in federal aid to clean up and rebuild after devastating wildfires. Last week, California Democrats appeared to get cold feet, delaying the vote in the state assembly after the $50 million in two separate bills passed the state Senate, but they took up the bills again. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, they approved two bills setting aside $50 million for lawsuits and legal aid services ahead of anticipated battles with the Trump administration. One of the bills passed Monday sent an additional $25 million to the California Department of Justice, headed by Attorney General Rob Bonta, Soros shill, to cover legal expenses and lawsuits to mitigate the impacts of actions taken by federal government. And then the lawmakers clarified that while the bill would authorize up to $25 million to the department, it would only be used if necessitated by litigation. Yeah, right. They'll find a way to spend it, and it'll probably have that little circular thing and end up in somebody's pockets. The other bill sets aside another $25 million for legal aid organizations and immigration centers, aka non-government organizations, and outside groups, aimed at defending immigrants in California. Immigrants or illegal immigrants? Let's clarify that. The funding for the nonprofits and outside groups was originally proposed by Senate Democrats, who reached a deal with Newsom and Assembly leaders on the two Trump-related bills. So, California is going to spend $50 million fighting the federal government. And it's funny, they can find that, and maybe they should help some of the people with the fires. Speaking of fires in California, California fires caused by homeless skyrocket. 3 more confirmed in San Diego. Three recent fires in San Diego are now confirmed to have been caused by homeless people, adding to California's ever-growing threat of homeless-instigated destructive blazes. That's according to local station NBC7. 3 fires that broke out in San Diego last week started in homeless encampments. The San Diego Metro Arson Strike Team confirmed to NBC7 on Thursday. Those fires were at the Friars Fire in Mission Valley. Oh, I've been in Mission Valley. Last time we were there, we went to, the mission's there. The Center Fire in Rancho Bernardo and the Gilman Fire in La Jolla, according to MAST Captain Pat Buckley. And then apparently in Los Angeles, there were, wait a minute. Holy smoke. Listen to this. Good morning, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian. In Los Angeles, there were 13,909 homeless caused fires in 2023. Nearly twice the number recorded just 3 years earlier. That's twice the numbers? You mean 3 years earlier there were 6,500 or 800 or whatever, something? Holy smokes. No pun intended. Some of the fires are apparently caused by homeless people tapping into city electrical wires under the sidewalk. NBC4 found, noting that tampering with these wires can set off explosions. An investigation by local CBS 2 found that the homeless accounted for a majority of fires, 54% in Los Angeles. Wait, only 54% at 13,909? And 4 of 5 fires 80% in a downtown area. So they're either setting fires to cook or they're tapping into electrical wires and causing explosions. That's crazy. Ironically, the Los Angeles Fire Department budget in the 2023-2024 fiscal year was only 2/3 the size of the $1.3 billion budget LA dedicated to the homeless. And for 2024-25, the fire department's budget was cut by $17 million. Yeah, we knew about that. So that's insane. Hello, K-Show. What's up? That's crazy. All right. Now, obviously, we've gotten Doge and our current administration very focused on 3- and 4-letter agencies, right? Right? We all know that. Well, another thing trending is OSHA. OSHA is trending because apparently they may also be on the cutting block. Apparently, a Republican Congressman, Andy Biggs, has introduced a bill to abolish OSHA. The entire text of the bill reads, "The Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970 is repealed. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is abolished." Now, what this bill would mean is the complete elimination of, well, okay. This is interesting how they write this. What this means is the complete elimination of federal workplace safety protections. Millions of jobs in numerous states where the state level protections are below the federal minimums would immediately become more dangerous. Maybe. It's funny because some other people respond to this. OSHA is a complete money grab from employees. I've sat in countless classes and walked away from them learning nothing. The only way to keep job sites and workshops safe is safety officers, in my opinion. That's interesting. That's interesting that he's looking to get rid of OSHA. Is this good or bad for union jobs? What are the benefits of this? That's an interesting question. OSHA fines make it harder for companies to make positive changes. The insurance prices rising are more effective. And then there's some people that just say, fuck OSHA. So that's an interesting development. I don't have any details on the rationale, but I can tell you what little experience I have with OSHA. Sometimes you wonder why. I mean, we have a state agency in Minnesota that does workplace safety. And I think some places, the company I work for is pretty big on safety stuff too. They're always talking about safety. So I don't know. Anyone have an opinion on OSHA? I don't know. But a lot of people are talking about this. Let's see. Oh, now someone hears, it wouldn't happen to be because Tesla garners so many OSHA violations, would it? Tesla's 5% of the U.S. auto manufacturing, yet they make up 75% of OSHA violations. Well, I wonder if that's because they've been targeted by OSHA because of a certain head of that company. I'm just curious. I am just curious. Someone here says OSHA, who has held my former employee responsible when my friend and coworker's leg was completely severed by a fucking forklift. Fuck you. Fuck anyone who supports this. Fuck you. You would think that a major lawsuit would hold the company responsible more than OSHA, though. I'm just saying, if that happened and it was because of negligence by the company, you would think that person would have the grounds for a pretty hefty freaking lawsuit. And all OSHA would do would fine the company. I don't know. Someone here says, an electrician, OSHA does not protect me. It not only makes my job harder, but it will fine me $25,000 for using improper safety equipment at work. Why should I be charged money for risking my life and only my life? Does it help workers to threaten us with crippling fines? I don't know. Someone here, every OSHA regulation is written in blood. Only an absolute moron would try to abolish OSHA. So I'm curious. Here's Andy Biggs himself. I've reintroduced legislation to nullify the Occupational Safe and Healthy Administration. The bill dates back to 2021 when the Biden-Harris regime used OSHA to impose unconstitutional vaccine mandates on private employers. So there's why he's doing it. And there's a link. I'll put a link to his post here. There's a YouTube video where he explains it. I'm not going to play it today, though, but there you go. All right, moving on. Also, in the other, some other 4, 3, 4, 5 in letter, what do you call them? Agencies. But by the way, good morning, Andrew Thorsten. Welcome to the show. Lee Zeldin is going to be heading up the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. Administrator Lee Zeldin is rolling out a massive 5-pillar initiative in his first 100 days in the role. He told Breitbart News exclusively in a lengthy interview at EPA headquarters in downtown Washington. Let's see. This is a long. Let's just give the first couple lines here. President Trump earned a mandate last November when the American people all across this country elected him to have a term that I believe will be the greatest 4 years in American history, Zeldin told Breitbart in his cavernous office inside William Jefferson Clinton. The William Jefferson Clinton building? Ha ha! I don't know if I want to describe that as cavernous. It's a humidor maybe. Jesus, what's wrong with me? A lot of longtime Democrat voters decided to vote Republican for the first time and vote for President Trump because their party had abandoned them and they felt disenfranchised. President Trump has pledged to do everything in his power to unleash American prosperity throughout this country, and we have an important role to make sure the EPA is accomplishing its mission in a manner that doesn't lose sight of our strong desire by the American people to unleash American prosperity. In order to do so, we need to become energy dominant. We need to bring back American auto jobs. We have to make the United States the AI capital of the world. We need to pursue permitting a reform that can allow more investment into the American economy. The EPA has to do its part here. Our mission here at the EPA is to protect human health and the environment. That mission absolutely can be accomplished while tapping into American innovation, creating jobs, and being accountable to the public and to Congress. We want to hit the ground running. So there's more in the article. That sounds great. Now, there is an issue, though, with EPA employees. Over 1,000 EPA employees upset over the warning that they face possible dismissal. So, wow. Hello, GDSOB. Yes, humidor. Yes, really. the William Jefferson Clinton building. Yeah, giant humidor. Anyway, so while everyone was focused on the hearings of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, Lee Zeldin was quietly confirmed and sworn in as the 17th administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA. Zeldin wasted no time implementing President Donald Trump's vision of smaller government that works for the people and not against them. Shortly after Zeldin was sworn in, over 1,100 EPA employees were warned they could face immediate termination. In an email reviewed by the New York Times, that was sent to staff members who were hired within the past year and had probationary status. Many of those employees were encouraged to join the EPA under the Biden administration to rebuild the agency, which had been depleted during President Trump's first term. Others are experienced federal workers who had taken new assignments within the agency. Many had been hired to work on programs that Congress created through 2 recent laws, doing things like helping communities replace lead pipes, remediating toxic sites, and funding clean energy projects aimed at reducing the greenhouse gas emissions that are heating the planet. So what is this article from? This has got to be from something. This is from the New York Times. That's why. I was like, that doesn't sound like the wording of legal insurrection. But anyway, so this is according to the New York Times. The quote, as a probationary trial period employee, the agency has the right to immediately terminate you. The email states, Molly Vasiliu, an EPA spokesman, said in a statement that our goal is to be transparent. She declined to answer questions about the email, though, including whether Lee Zeldin, the agency's new administrator, intended to terminate employees, and if so, for what reason. So yeah, they may be having a purge at the EPA. Oh, here, wait a minute. Now, okay, wait a minute. Zeldin is also trying to stop the flow of monies from grants the agency was slated to provide as he has proceeded with the funding freeze. Uh-oh. Now, now it says, enjoy the sweet, sweet tears of the senators from my home state of California. Quote, U.S. Senators Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff, both Democrats from California, joined Senators Sheldon Whitehouse, who's also a member of an all-white club, and all Democratic members of the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee in demanding answers from newly confirmed Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Lee Zeldin about the agency's freezing of congressionally appropriated funds, including those that have already been obligated. We write concerning troubling reports that the Environmental Protection Agency is attempting to claw back funds that have already been obligated to grant recipients. We believe that this is contrary to federal law, wrote the senators. Many of us have also been contracted by grantees in our states reporting that they no longer have access to the grant money that has been obligated to them. Federal law and regulations require that obligated funds be provided to grantees absent proof of misuse of funds, continued the senators. We further note that the Solar for All program furthers several goals, all of which are a part of the EPA's core mission, and their companies that kick back to certain senators, which you support. This is designated to help reduce carbon pollution, air pollutants, and household energy costs by financing community and rooftop solar in low-income communities. You know, they're so full of shit that, we're providing solar to low-income communities. You know, the way that works is you still pay out your ass to have that shit put on your house, and then you get reimbursed. Low-income communities can't afford to do that. Anyway. And apparently someone from the National Wildlife Federation is about, I will end with some thoughts from the National Wildlife Federation about Zeldin's approach to climate justice. Environmental and climate justice advocates face an uphill battle for the immediate future of what happens after what is really up in the air. During Trump's first term, the EPA rolled back numerous regulations, arguing they hindered economic progress, something the president maintained when he announced his EPA appointment. As EPA administered, Zeldin will likely align with this approach, favoring market solutions and minimal regulatory intervention, with little emphasis on broader environmental and climate justice initiatives. Okay, whatever. I got you. All right, moving on. Oh, wait a minute. We have our first sponsor today, Gunfox 61. You are the new Streamland Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Far East Theater News. You mean like the Chinese version of West Side Story? What does that mean? Just kidding. Okay, let's see what this is. By the way, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar. Thus, he is allowed to hijack the show. We'll move this up earlier in the links today. Let's see. Is that a good place for it? Okay, we'll move this right here. All right. Thank you, Gunfox. By the way, good morning, Chauncey Stewart. Let's see. I said GDSOB. Green Badger Outdoors. Gunfox 61. I think I got everybody. How many people are here right now? Let's check that out. We're up to 42. Holy moly. And only 17 likes. What's wrong with you people? All right. Here's the Gunfox article Gunfox dropped with the Hamilton. So you get to hijack the show. U.S. military. Oh, wait a minute. U.S. military plane carrying deported Indians, obviously the call center Indians, not the casino Indians, lands in Punjab. U.S. deportation flights carrying about 100 Indian. By the way, remember I said I say it constantly, how these people that are crossing our border from Mexico, are in Mexico, are coming from all over the world. And we've known this for a long time. Well, this is a flight carrying about 100 Indian nationals accused of entering the country illegally, and it has landed in the state of Punjab. By the way, good morning, Chicago. Mike, welcome back. The military aircraft which left Texas on Tuesday is now on this in the city of Amritsar, where authorities say they have put measures in place to process the deportees. President Donald Trump has made the mass deportation of undocumented foreign nationals a key policy. The U.S. said to have identified about 18,000 individuals Indian nationals it believes entered illegally. 18,000. There is a travel agency somewhere in the world that is getting people to Mexico and Canada so they can cross into the United States illegally. I guarantee it. I'm sure that there's an NGO that somehow facilitates this too. This is insane. Excuse me, sir. Please don't send me back to Swiftly Land, sir. I can't even pronounce what you wrote there. All right. So, authorities in Punjab say they have set up special counters to receive the deportees, adding that the individuals would be treated in a friendly manner. Journalists that gathered outside the police barricades near an Indian Air Force building in Amritsar. I pronounced that wrong earlier. There are 104 Indian deportees on the flight, and they will be processed separately from regular passengers before boarding buses to their home states, including Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Uttar Pradesh, and Gujarat. Trump is increasingly using U.S. military planes to return individuals to their home countries. However, deportation flights to India are not new. The U.S. fiscal year 2024, which ended in September, more than 1,000 Indian nationals had been repatriated by charter and commercial flights. Interesting. So let's see. So there was 1,000 in 2024, more than 1,000. Well, we've got 104 in the first month. Okay, we're on track. Good. The flight carrying adult men and women was also routed to Punjab, close to many deportees' places of origin. No precise breakdown of hometowns was provided. Much of the migration from India to the U.S. appears to originate from the Sikh-dominated state of Punjab and neighboring Haryana, which has traditionally seen people migrating overseas. The other source of origin is Gujarat, Modi's home state. That has been part of a steady increase in removals from the U.S. of Indian nationals over the past few years, which corresponds with a general increase in encounters that we have seen with Indian nationals in the last few years as well. Royce Bernstein Murray, Assistant Secretary at the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, told the media briefing in October. So, let's see. Oh, what? Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you scroll down a little bit, and it says a total of 5,477 Indians have been deported from the U.S. by ICE between 2018 and 2023. According to official figures, more than 2,300 were deported in 2020, the highest in recent years. So when they were averaging it out, were they averaging it out to 1,000? But that includes the increase during the prior Trump administration. Good morning, Puffer P. Smiles. What's up? Oh, an amazing disgrace is in the house. So anyway, the number of undocumented Indian immigrants in the U.S. is disputed. New data from Pew Research estimates 725,000 people as of 2022, making them the third largest group after Mexico and El Salvador. Now, I wonder how many of those are people who have overstayed visas, though. I guess I'm just curious about that. But China has 37,900 cases. Higher numbers come from Honduras, El Salvador, and Mexico, each with over 200,000. Oh, these are the people awaiting deportation. So, yeah, there's that. Way to go. Well, at least we're doing the job. All right, let's see. What's next here? Who did that already? OSHA, that, EPA. Oh! Now we've been talking a lot about USAID lately. And what is this? Why is that? What happened there? Oh, that's the extra one here. Here we go. So there's a very major consternation over this USAID. And it's almost good morning, Rex, Sean, Puerto Rico, and Evan S. I didn't see you. I just noticed up there, and I said hi to Gunfox. I think I got everybody. And if you haven't chatted, put anything in the chat. Put something in the chat. I'll say hi to you too. I'll say hi to anybody who shows up. Marty, I might line up some for tomorrow. Okay, line them up. There you go. So Democrats especially are very upset about USAID. losing its thing. You know what I mean? Its thing, losing its thing. And I just gotta. So here's Donna Brazil posted this Washington Post article. Saying Trump's attack on USAID is an assault on American safety. That's an interesting way to put it, and it's partially because that's what the article called, right? So here's the Washington Post article written by Senator Chris Coons, who, he's going to have all the Democrat talking points because he's a Democratic senator. And he says, Donald Trump ran for president on a promise that he would keep Americans safe. His effort to defend and destroy the U.S. Agency for International Development shows he has a misguided idea of how to do that. Well, this is weird because USAID, we are starting to learn about all the things that they seem to fund, are funding things that aren't necessary. Some are antithetical to U.S. safety. Good morning, Shrapnel and Chauncey Stewart. Apologize for doing that to your name. Coons continues, USAID's programs, like all our foreign assistance, play a central role in combating extremism. Really? Oh, I beg to differ. Promoting stability and protecting our homeland. Trump plans to sign an executive order that would direct action he has already taken to drastically reduce USAID's budget and fold it into the State Department, which probably would make more sense if the State Department, is focused on our goals and not USAID and the CIA's goals. This is an unconstitutional overstepping of our nation's separation of powers. Whoa, hold on a minute there, Chris Coons. USAID probably belongs under the executive branch. What are you talking about? Separation of powers. Separation of powers is the executive versus the legislative versus the judicial branches of government. Those are the separations of power. USAID has been acting as though it doesn't have a branch of government that controls it. And it really should, regardless of the fact that the Congress will approve funds for USAID. That doesn't mean that it's a congressional, committee. It's still going to be administered under the executive branch, which is the one that, forces the laws. So he goes on to say, Trump plans to send, this is an unconscious overstepping of our nation's separation of powers, but even if it is blocked, Trump has already started gutting the agency. On his first day in the White House, Trump issued an executive order freezing all foreign assistance for at least 90 days, prompting stop work orders affecting hundreds of projects around the world. That will weaken U.S. influence. This past weekend, much of USAID's leadership was furloughed or laid off, some fired for protecting national security secrets from unelected bureaucrats from the Elon Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency. Okay, I got a question. Okay, let's just think about that sentence. Why is USAID having any national security secrets in the first place? He said, last past weekend, much of USAID's leadership was furloughed or laid off, some fired for protecting national security secrets from unelected bureaucrats. From the Elon Musk-led Department of Government Efficiency. Well, wait a minute. Doesn't everybody at USAID, isn't every single person working at USAID an unelected bureaucrat? And why do the unelected bureaucrats at USAID have any national security secrets? I thought you were developing aid around, developing countries around the world. You're giving out rice to people who can't eat. What national security secrets does USAID have in their files? He continues, U.S. foreign assistance makes up 1% of our federal budget. Okay, and is all the U.S. foreign assistance go through USAID, or does it go through other departments that are redundant? Holy shit. And great, it makes up 1% of our federal budget, right? 1% of $4 trillion? That's some bitty big change. I think maybe we should, if we could reduce the entire budget of the United States by 1%, that'd be awesome. So that USAID is a good start. God dang. And this money isn't charity. Well, what is it then? Because all y'all Democrats been talking like it is, we're taking food from children and we're taking away their vaccinations and blah, blah, blah. Couldn't most of those functions be done by the State Department? It bolsters our security and advances our values. Really. Because USAID money has gone to regime change. Oh, by the way, there's a couple other things we got to talk about where USAID money goes in the next couple parts here. The reckless steps of the Trump administration is taking as part of its isolationist America First agenda. Simply put, are dangerous for Americans, our foreign assistance and engagement wins us friends around the world, establishes our leadership, and more important, neutralizes distant threats to the United States well before they put our country at risk. So I'm fascinated at the at the examples he used, but the idea that, oh my God, unelected bureaucrats are taking money or stopping money being spent by unelected bureaucrats. That's hilarious. All right, real quick, I got a few super chats here. Reaction Puerto Rico dropping us a 5-spot through super chat. Says, "Good morning, everybody. Hit the thumbs up, retweet, check. I don't know what the check mark is, and ring the bell and check DM. Oh, check DMs. That's for me. Thank you. Reaction Puerto Rico. Also, Avocados Diablo says, USAID is an anagram of Saudi. Coincidence or no? Oh, snap. Wait, that should be one of these. Thank you, Gunfox. Dropped 3 articles for tomorrow. One says for tomorrow's show. One says
China is asshole.
And the third says 2 billion with a frickin' B. All right, we will look at those tomorrow for sure. I won't even check them off right now. Thank you, Gunfox61. And you are still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Also, real quick, Ty Alexander dropping a 230. Says, yesterday I was asked if I had any regrets voting for Trump, and I told him no. I'm tired of my money funding transsexual comics in Peru or a fucking pro-gay musical in fucking Colombia. Spelled wrong. Sorry, I just fuck with you. My cup of kindness hath runneth dry. My mercies are all used up. Fuck them. Hey, I got on board with that one. Thank you, Ty Alexander. All right. Wait, what? GDSB being an imhold and a Rikita is all barf. Where are we talking about Rikita and Adam? What's his name? Aaron Imhoff? What's going on over here in the chat? Also, thank you, Avocados Diablo. Dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. Who says, how did trans operas in Colombia win us friends? I don't know. I have no idea. Some of the stuff they've been funny has been nuts. All right, speaking of which, let's get into this. By the way, now this is funny. And I don't know if you've seen this. You may have or may not. So apparently on CNN, you just got to see this. And because the CNN panel was covering the Democrats protesting the USAID thing, whatever, and protesting Elon Musk. And they got a good chuckle. And it's almost funny how they're almost seem to be ridiculing these people too. So let's just watch this clip. It's very funny.
Tonight, Democrats versus Elon Musk. The tech titan maybe a shadow president going full Bane. The Batman villain is what we're talking about here. Crediting himself
Bane.
for returning power to the people while at the same time...
You really don't think I think you like this, do you? Oh, yes, you need to stop.
dismissing any criticism of anything that he is doing, calling all of his opponents cronies of the radical left shadow government.
Wait for
Democrats
it.
agree that Musk is a problem, but listen to them today. And they
Wait for it. This is hilarious. I mean, it truly is funny.
have
Watch.
a pinata in search of a stick.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire.
Okay.
Resist! We are going to be...
Wait a minute. Hold up. I want to show you Ayanna Pressley's little part of this clip again. And don't watch Ayanna Pressley, but look at the people around her. Look at the people around her.
To our Republican colleagues, if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
We will bring the fire. Just the fire. Boy, they just seem super duper fired up. Okay, now we got Jasmine. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not sure why Jasmine here has suddenly decided just to be. Let's just say her all vernacular-y. Okay, I'm gonna just put it that way because I don't want to say I don't want to say the G word, but she's all vernacular-y, and when she was in the Texas Senate, she never talked like this. She talked like a fucking Valley girl. But anyway, here's.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We have days to stop the destruction of our democracy.
The destruction of our democracy.
We have work to do. Tell Elon Musk to take his hands off your money. We don't pledge allegiance to the sleepy 22-year-olds working for Elon Musk. We pledge allegiance to the United States of America.
And goddamn it, shut down the city. We are at war.
We will win.
Here it is.
We will win.
Look at that.
We won't rest. We won't
Oh my
rest.
God. Let's watch. They're all laughing at him. The CNN people are laughing at them. Watch this. This is great.
We won't rest.
Gretchen.
All of them are laughing.
The Democrats need a real leader, okay? They need a real leader, which currently does not exist in the Democratic
Oh my
Party.
God.
And they have been caught completely flat-footed with the entire Trump presidency for the last 2 weeks. And Elon Musk. I said on CNN months ago that Elon Musk would be the most influential advisor to President Trump, and that is proving to be true, whether you like it or not. But Democrats should have had a plan for this. They knew it was coming. We say this every single night.
2025.
We knew
as
it.
We just talked about.
We knew it. Trump has said all of these things.
Look,
going.
okay, now she brings up Project 2025, which some things Trump is doing just happen to mirror things in Project 2025. But the things he is actually doing were all said on the campaign trail that that's what they wanted to do, and they are going for it. And guess what? The Democrats out there talking about that their protest in that little clip, this series of clips, about this is what democracy looks like, they seem to have forgotten that the democracy that they've been asking about, which is American people voted, didn't vote for them. They voted the ones on that stage, but the American people, majority of the American people, voted for what they got. Donald Trump is president, a majority Senate, a majority House. So what democracy are they saying that looks like? Looks like the democracy that you say this looks like voted against you. And so now the people who won are doing what they do. And we'll see if there's a swing back because of it or not. But I know that some of the polls that I've seen on this have been kind of favorable to what's going on. It's kind of weird. I'm surprised by some of it. because the rhetoric on all the media is saying, no, this is terrible, this is wrong, this is blah, blah, blah. So just thought I'd mention that. Good morning, Furry Kitten. What's up? Nice to see you.
To happen.
And
we saw him
Stefania.
align with Elon Musk, which may go down as the smartest thing that any presidential candidate has ever done. From
Poor
the
Bakari.
young vote to
Poor
tech
Bakari
to
sellers.
a million other things. So Democrats needed to have a plan, and it may be too late.
Yeah, Bakari, are you fired up after?
I'm fired up and ready to go. Can't you see it in my face?
Even Bakari sellers thought that was pathetic. That's so funny.
For me, I'm disappointed in the lack of plan. I'm disappointed in the flat-footedness.
And you're probably disappointed that Democrats lost this cycle. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, so moving on. So anyway, now there's also a problem with more things that where USAID money has been going. Deep State Aligned International Republican Group has received millions from USAID and open border NGOs. International Republican Institute, a nonprofit founded in 1983 and chaired for 25 years by the late Senator John McCain. What? Receives over $130 million in federal grants, either directly from government programs like those run by the United States Agency for International Development or funneled to it via far-left open borders organizations like the United Nations International Organization for Migration, which also USAID probably funds. Earlier this week, the Trump White House moved to freeze USAID funding, with the agency being absorbed into the State Department. According to IRS internal audits and filings with the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, the Globus Aligned and anti-Trump nonprofit spent $130.7 million in taxpayer dollars to strengthen political parties, civil society, marginalized communities, and in other areas essential to democratic governance in over 100 foreign countries. So this is a John McCain, leftover. More importantly, IRA audit documents revealed the nonprofit group, which boasts numerous prominent Republican lawmakers as members of its board, is backed through grants directly issued by USAID and the State Department. So it's not just Democrats that this is going on, or that they've been funding. Also, additionally, audit documents show that IRA receives additional taxpayer dollars through grants issued by globalist NGOs, which are themselves recipients of federal grants and or direct congressional funding, acting as so-called pass-through entities like IOM, the Pan American Development Foundation, the Consortium for Elections, Political Process Strengthening, and the National Endowment for Democracy, all funded IRI programs. So they're they're dipping from all these NGOs that get money from the federal government, and then again, we saw that chart where all these things, they pass money through to each other, and it's just like, what is the money actually doing? So, by the way, even more troubling, at least one former IRA employee was actively involved in the Democratic Party's Russia hoax and cooperated with Mueller's investigation, which was largely reliant on the discredited Steele dossier. Sam Patton, a former IRA staffer, pled guilty in 2018 to federal charges that he failed to register as a foreign agent and subsequently provided materials to foreign investigators that allegedly tied the Trump campaign to Ukrainian oligarch Konstantin Kilimnik. The latter was accused of being involved in Russian efforts to influence the 2016 presidential election. So, and then the notable GOP board members of this place, the late U.S. Senator John McCain, served as the chairman of IRI's board of directors for 25 years, leading the group for most of its existence. Today, the chairman's IRI board is U.S. Senator Dan Sullivan, a Republican from Arizona. Also, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, Joni Ernst from Iowa, Lindsey Graham from South Carolina serve on the group's board. They're joined by former Senators Cory Gardner and Mark Kirk. Mitt Romney. Oh my God, this is except for Tom Cotton, this is like the pseudo squishy Republican caucus in the Senate. It's like, come on. But so that's another. And also, where's the other one here? Where's the Bill Kristol one? Also, Bill Kristol's organization was getting money from this. Also, hang on. Let's start here. Report: Biden administration made improper payments totaling $236 billion in 2023. The Biden administration wasted $236 billion in improper payments throughout 71 federal programs in 2023, according to the Government Accountability Office. The improper payments underscore President Donald Trump's vow to clean up the administrative state and his support for Doge, and of Elon Musk's audit of the federal government to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. The massive sum, 3/4 of which was reportedly overpayments, was just a portion of the federal deficit, $1.8 trillion, under the Biden administration. New York Times reported the Government Accountability Office analysis. Let's see, Mr. Musk told administrative officials that he thinks they could balance the budget if they eliminate the fraudulent payments leaving the system, according to an official who discussed the matter with him. It's unclear what he is basing a statement on. Federal deficit for 2024 was $1.8 trillion with a TR. The Government Accountability Office estimated in a report that the government made $236 billion in improper payments, 3/4 of which were overpayments across 71 federal programs in the 2023 fiscal year. So that's just 1 year, though. $236 billion in 1 year. That's a significant chunk out of that trillion, right? Anyway, let's see. There's a couple other articles here I'm going to skip through. This is just an editorial that Trump stuck a killing blow to the heart of the Democratic deep state machine. That USAID, really, it's 90. What did we say yesterday? 99% Democrats or whatever. Oh, real quick, thank you, Chicago Bite, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar. Appreciate you. Who says? It says Democrats need a real leader. Please, someone say David Hogg or AOC. We need more material for Marty. Yes. Yes, make it David Hogg. AOC is a little bit smarter than David Hogg, but he does have a Harvard degree. Talk about DEI. That's dummies, eggheads, and idiots. Okay, let's see. And then, the establishment media is whining that Donald Trump is flooding the zone. Yeah, he's doing so much, they can't keep up. And so, I don't need to read that one. Maxine Waters is trending amazingly because Schumer and Maxine Waters made idiots out of themselves. They looked stupid. Let's see what's this one? Nobody elected your ass. This is not Elon Musk country. Representing Max. Oh, here's Maxine Waters. Here's her talking at this thing.
California!
Oh my God, she looks like a corpse.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Auntie Maxie.
We have convened here in the right place, the Treasury Department. We have got to tell Elon Musk, nobody elected your ass. Nobody told you could get all of our private information.
He didn't want your private information. He wants to know if we're spending shit. Wait a minute. Do you have the clip of them trying to figure out how doors work? I don't know if I've seen that one.
Nobody told you could be in charge of the payments of this country. We have told you you've made enough money off our government yourself. And now you want to take everybody else's payroll and make sure that they don't make the kind of money that you've made.
What? What does that mean? What does that mean? James Brown's doubly right. Holy shit. What do you mean? He doesn't want to deal with anyone else's payroll or anyone else's payments. All we're doing right now is auditing the federal government. And the federal government seems to be failing. Kind of like the Defense Department audits, they failed 7 years in a row or 7 times in a row. Well, same kind of thing.
Oh, you want to use our money to go to Mars? No, we want to use our money right here in Washington, D.C.
Now, isn't that ironic, what she just said? We don't want to use your money to do things that advance science and technology, whatever. We want to make sure we use our money right here in Washington, D.C. Did she mean the United States of America, like America first? Oh, no. We want to spend money the way we want to spend money. It's very strange. I'm not going to play the rest of this just because I can't even listen to her voice right now. Democrats calling for Elon Musk to be arrested. Do these fucking idiots realize how stupid they look and sound? It's laughable. Oh my God. In that chant. So anyway, also another, this is wild. Apparently, even Politico somehow has gotten some taxpayer money? Somebody's saying, whoa, how have taxpayers been propping up Politico? This is, now we're not really sure. Total amount awarded, $8.1 million. I don't know what this is. People are saying, fun fact, Politico received USAID funds. Everything makes sense now. So this is, let's see, USA spending, I don't know, .gov, Politico LLC, $8.2 million. Now, I wonder if that, okay, I got to take that with a grain of salt. Could this have been related to PPP loans or something like that? I really want to be careful when you talk about this kind of thing, because we're not sure why they got federal money. Let's see. We do indeed appear to be funneling large sums of tax money to Politico so that some bureaucrats can read left-wing journalists complain about Republicans. I do want to understand what exactly is going on here. Are we really spending $8 million a year in federal monies to Politico subscriptions? This seems weird, and I'm curious what an innocent explanation there might be. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility. USAID. Sadly, Politico reporters haven't been paid after USAID payments were suspended. What? Opposition news outlets across Europe, South America, Asia, and Africa are facing similar problems. Was Politico funded by USAID, or is this just a coincidence? Curious. According to the sources in the OP comments, it looks as though the news outlet Politico is actually Soviet-style state-funded media on a global scale. Huh. You know what? Only the shadow knows. Guess we're going to find out about that pretty soon. We're going to see if there's going to be denials in Politico. Thank you. Horatio Nelson sponsored the show today. Says, FYI, Politico has been outed as a CIA front using taxpayer money to fake their subscription base and push propaganda on behalf of the U.S. State Department. Their funding is primarily via shell games with USAID. Cheers. Well, here's an article that Horatio Nelson gave me. Maybe. There it goes. This is a thread on X. Politico received USAID funds. On Tuesday, it was reported that staff at Politico did not get paid for the latest pay period. The company just sent several emails to employees saying it believes there was a technical error and is looking into how to fix the issue. Dear team, I want to address, somebody and I want to address this morning's payroll issue directly due to what we believe to be a technical error. Employees did not receive their paychecks as scheduled. We understand the urgency of this matter and sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Our team is working diligently with our system and vendors and bank to identify the root cause and implement a solution as quickly as possible. The technical error was reportedly resolved. The error of sending U.S. taxpayer money to a biased partisan establishment publication, however, is being fixed. Just to be clear, Politico was getting funds from all sorts of government agencies for extremely pricey Political Pro subscriptions. The State Department was the second largest purchaser. So, may not be from USAID, or maybe they were buying subscriptions for them, but why is the government paying for subscriptions to Politico? Unbelievable. All right. Thank you, Horatio. All right. How much time do I have? Ooh, I'm short on time. Well, let's get through a few more here because this is fascinating. So here is an article in MRC TV. 8 USAID grants spent more than $500 million taxpayer dollars on ESG and DEI. So it's just a list of different places. $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. Why? What? Why would we spend $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia? What are they trying to get more women in the workplaces in Serbia? Whatever. $70,000 for production of a DEI musical in Ireland. $32,000 for transgender opera in Colombia. $1.999900 grant That's a $1,999,900 grant to associations Lambda to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming healthcare, advocate for improvements of quality and access to services, provide economic empowerment opportunities in Guatemala. Why? Why are we spending $2 billion on gender-affirming healthcare and advocating for improving quality and access to services in fucking Guatemala? God. $45 million to DEI scholarships in Burma. $520 million for consultant-driven ESG investments in Africa. $400,000 grant to Centro para Desarrollo y la Cooperación LGBTI to provide social oversight and reduce historical exclusion in Honduras. $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. The actual fuck. God. All right. Oh, here's the dirty truth behind Bill Kristol's private funding. This is also what I was telling you about. Can't Stop the Signal, the phrase popularized by a 2005 sci-fi flick Serenity, has today been supplanted by Can't Hide the Data, courtesy of Data Republican, small r, ever-improving federal government grant award search. Let's check this out. We'll put a link to that, too. For example, how does a private figure like Bill Kristol get taxpayers to fund his political activities? Well, it's complicated, but we can show you the way. Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors received nearly $38 million in grants last year, nearly evenly divided between USAID and the State Department, because the Rockefellers don't have enough money of their own money. Now, it may just be called Rockefeller, but anyway. RPA gave significant sums. The Data Republican chart did not make it clear how much, but I'm still digging and we'll update this column if I can find the number, to the Hopewell Fund. What does it do? According to its site, Hopewell has been around only since 2015 and is a 501c3 public charity that specializes in helping donors, social entrepreneurs, and other change makers quickly launch new innovative social change projects. Now, that's a mouthful. Otherwise, they're probably funding some anti-Trump shit. That's a whole lot of words saying not much. However, I did see that the organization's Economic Security Project provides management for nearly a dozen contracts and grants management for community-based organizations, think tanks, advocacy organizations, and NGOs in the United States. Slush meat funds. Your taxpayer dollars became private funds via Rockefeller that then went into a whole host of progressive causes via groups like Hopewell. Now, I'm using Hopewell as an example because one of its beneficiaries, to the tune of $2 million last year, is another organization called Defending Democracy Together. Oh, okay. That's one of the great mic drop moments in social media history. So here it is. Hello, Mr. Kristol. For you, the deep state is preferable because you are listed as the president of Defending Democracy, which is an indirect beneficiary of USAID through Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors. You are exposed, sir. Defending Democracy's president is Bill Kristol, and its directors are Mona Sharon, Linda Chavez, and Sarah Longwell. Judging by Kristol's presence and its directors, Defending Democracy is essentially the nonprofit arm of Kristol's post-weekly standard anti-Trump project, The Bulwark. Whatever it is that Defending Democracy Together does, it doesn't seem to do much of it in public. The group's website doesn't appear to have been updated since 2021, although the donate button seems to work. Honestly, Kristol is probably among the least of our problems. What, if any, influence he still has is bolstered by the amount of money that's piddling by USAID, state, and NGO standards. I use him as an example only because, as someone who's been around Washington and power his entire life, he's a public figure I was sure you'd be familiar with. So, yeah, just the trail of money that goes out from USAID can go just about anywhere, including into Bill Kristol's pockets somehow. All right, let's see. I'm really out of time today, so here's a few headlines that are in the links. Plus, I've got the aggregator. Do I have the aggregator set up? I do. And also the articles that that people sent in, they are also in the links today. So anyway, USAID employees describes the scramble when the Doge team showed up. Yeah, they were running around trying to, hide shit and whatever when the Doge team came in. The reaction of the U.S. Agency of International Development employees when this Department of Government officially came to their Washington, D.C. office last week is raising more questions about the shadowy agency. Contractor Christina Dry, who is employed at USAID, described to ABC News a scene of reminiscent of the kind of mad scramble historically witnessed when a corrupt government has fallen and officials are desperately trying to get rid of the evidence. That lead tells you kind of what the article's all about. They were scrambling. Woo! Hide the pride flags. Yeah, we hide the pride flags. Exactly. Also, the NOAA. Apparently, Musk is going after the NOAA. Someone here, Senator Chris Van Hollen, here reports that Musk cronies are targeting NOAA, infiltrating key systems and locking out career employees. NOAA is vital for weather forecasting, scientific research, and more. Their critical work saves lives. Someone here says, many years ago, I was flying a pipeline survey across the East Coast. Weather was a much bigger issue in those days since we didn't have the internet to help. Stopped by the local NOAA office at one airport, and they threatened to call the cops if I looked at their screens. Yes, that's the National Oceanic something or whatever. Climate hoaxes and offshore wind scammers are on edge. Doge staffers enter NOAA headquarters and incite reports of cuts and threats. So they've threatened to do some cuts at NOAA. Alex Soros is trending, or not trending, but kind of trending because, they keep talking, Elon Musk is not an elected official. Well, neither is Alex Soros, who has immense influence over the Democrats. Let's see, what else is in here? Middle East was trending. Oh, I didn't even get to the stuff about Israel and Gaza. Trump talking about how he wants to clean up the mess in Gaza. We might get into that later, tomorrow maybe, because he made this thing that the U.S. will own Gaza. I don't know if it came out the way that he intended, or we don't know. There's a lot of different interpretations of what he said about Gaza yesterday, and also talking about resettling Palestinian refugees in Jordan and Egypt. So there's several articles on that. We'll skip through that. By the way, secret Hamas docs reveal torture and execution of gay terrorists, while some male October 7th Israeli victims were raped in captivity. Ugh. Why are you gay? Also, he said Trump says he wants to permanently relocate all Gazans in a meeting with Netanyahu. Do you mean permanently? But again, they're talking about moving people to Egypt and Jordan. Also, by the way, just a reminder that Gaza's Jewish population had been resettled a couple times themselves. So they don't want you to talk about that, though, because especially the people who protest about Gaza. And then finally, just other things that were trending: Arab, Palestine, because of that same theme there. And Israel, obviously, because Bibi Netanyahu met with Trump yesterday. Egypt was trending. And then in the American Thinker, let's see. Good news, the far left still hasn't realized why they are losing. Okay. I just want to play one clip, and then I'm going to go. Play one clip. And this was the clip when they were trying to determine who was going to be the Democrat National Committee chairs and co-chairs. And for some reason, I think Republicans should use this in all their campaign ads during the 2026 midterms, because it illustrates how the Democrats learned nothing by this election. Listen carefully.
The rules specify that when we have a gender non-binary candidate or officer, the non-binary individual is counted as neither male nor female, and the remaining 6 offices must be gender balanced. With the results of the previous 4 elections, our elected officers are currently 2 male and 2 female. In order to be gender balanced, we must
listen carefully and see if you can understand this.
Elect 1 male, 1 female, and 1 person of any gender.
Any gender.
So again, this is what we have to do for this vice chair race. We have to elect 1 male, 1 female,
he doesn't understand
and 1
You're right,
person
AD.
of any gender.
Of any gender.
To ensure our process
Of any
accounts for
gender.
male, female, and non-binary candidates, we conferred with our RBC co-chair, our LGBT caucus co-chair, and others to ensure that the process is inclusive and meets the gender balance requirements in our rules.
You mean they can't just be gay?
To do this, our
They have
process
to
will
be
be slightly
non-binary?
different than the one outlined to you earlier this week. But I hope you will see that in practice it is simple and transparent. The order of balloting is designed to ensure equal access to the ballot, regardless of gender identity. As we must elect
Now,
a candidate of
apparently,
any
by
gender-
the way, apparently Democrats don't understand how democracy works. At least the way they seem to think it is supposed to be, correct? Because, look, if it's democracy, then the people with the most votes win, and you shouldn't have to socially engineer your leadership. But no, they need to, they really expand the definition of socially engineering.
As well as 1 male and 1 female vice chair, we will first ask members to elect a candidate of any gender on the first ballot.
Oh, so you want
Any
the non-binary
candidate, male,
first?
female, and non-binary, can be elected on that ballot. After a candidate is elected on the first ballot,
okay,
we'll have 1 officer of the 3. So we will now. So then we will know which position is filled of the 1 male, 1 female, and 1 vice chair of any gender. Our second ballot would also be for a candidate of any gender. Then our third ballot will be the third position that is remaining based on the 2 results. Either a male candidate if a candidate that is not male has not been elected, or a female candidate if a female has not been elected.
Okay, so imagine if we did federal elections like that. Like, okay, well, we've got, okay, so we're going to, since the president is this gender and the vice president this gender, we must have a Senate majority leader that is non-binary, and then we need a House majority leader that is furry, and holy shit. Oh, John, you're back. Welcome back, John. What is this? Okay, John, that is weird. Okay, but I'm gonna read it because it's fascinating. It's fascinating political commentary. John Lovell says, I think that it would be interesting if Barron Trump's kidneys failed and had to tie his mom to a bed and use her kidneys. I think that is fascinating. All life are precious jewels philosophy. What the fuck does that mean? I'm glad. Hey, welcome back. You said I'm your people, but that's some weird shit. Okay, gang, I gotta go. Let's drop these links in the chat like I always do from everything we did today, plus the stuff I didn't get to. Here are the links. Bam. And that's it. I gotta go. Thank you for being here. I will be here tomorrow, but I will not be here Friday. Just a reminder, programming note, because I'm gonna be on an airplane. So everyone have a fantastic freaking day. I gotta go. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.